Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam semua teman-teman yang sudah bergabung dengan kami. Malam hari ini kembali kita hadir dalam acara WartaJazz Talk edisi ke-9 pada hari Kamis 9 Juli 2020. Saya Agus Setiawan Basuni, live dari WartaJazz House Gallery di Cimanggis di Depok. Dan tentu saja saya tidak sendiri. Pada malam hari ini saya juga ditemani rekan saya dari kota Yogyakarta. Segera saja kita sapa. Selamat malam Mas Aji Wartono.
Selamat malam ya. Kita jumpa lagi di WartaJazz Talk yang ke-9 ya.
Ya,
angka
ke-9.
bagus.
Dan ini padahal tadi malam kita baru selesai ngobrolin tentang jurnalisme jazz ya, dan percakapannya kayaknya ramai banget dengan teman-teman. Dan kita senang sekali karena pada malam hari ini kita kedatangan tamu spesial dari mancanegara, dan tentu saja untuk teman-teman yang baru saja tune in, program kita berlangsung memang beda-beda hari ya. Kami mencoba mengatur jadwal, mudah-mudahan nanti bisa kita fixkan harinya karena memang menyesuaikan dengan jadwalnya narasumber ya. Tapi yang pasti salah satu program kami yang juga sudah berjalan adalah WartaJazz Monday Lounge, di mana setiap hari Senin akan ada band atau musisi atau artis dari dunia jazz yang akan melaunching karya baik dalam bentuk single ataupun album. Nah, malam hari ini siapa Mas Haji yang akan kita hadirkan ini, Mas Haji?
Oke, kita menghadirkan seorang saksofonis yang sekarang tinggal di Swiss ya, yaitu Nicole. Ya, benar ya? Iya.
Oke, kita konfirmasi saja. Halo, selamat malam. Hey, how are you?
Nicole. Oh, masih di mute ya?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
Yes. How are
Hi,
you?
everybody. I'm very, very good. Lots of greetings to Indonesia from Switzerland.
Thank you very much for, thank you. Thank you very much for joining with us tonight. And of course, it's not just us, but also we also had some other people who will be joining with us. Let me just say hello to our friend from, I think he is coming, or now residing in Yogyakarta, in his lovely house. Selamat malam Mas Dani, dari Kuwait Nika, apa kabar?
Mas Agus, selamat malam juga Mas Haji juga. Halo Nicole, selamat malam, kabar baik semua.
Oke, Mas Dani, nanti kita ngobrol-ngobrol lebih lanjut ya. Saya mau menyapa lagi, ada satu lagi tamu saya yang juga spesial pada malam hari ini yang menemani obrolan kita dengan Nicole, yaitu saya mesti menyebutnya apa nih? Udahlah, pokoknya intinya dari jazz gunung ya. Selamat malam Mas Bagas, apa kabar?
Alhamdulillah, kabar baik. Selamat malam semuanya, Mas Agus, Mas Haji, Mas Dani. Hai Nicole.
Selamat malam.
So basically, malam ini kita akan ngobrol, and tonight we will be discussing, just having a casual conversation, but this tonight talks will be bilingual. So excuse me if sometimes I switch between English and also Bahasa. And just in case if anyone has a questions or something that needs to be asked or comments, you can leave your comments and questions in the YouTube comment box, and also in the Facebook as well, and of course also in Instagram and the Periscope, and the Twitter. Okay. Now let's go to Nicole. So maybe you could update us a little bit the situation. You're holding the German passport, I believe, and but now you live in Switzerland. In which city, to be precise?
I live in Zurich since 2005, so 15 years now.
Okay.
Exactly 15 years.
And I heard that that you are planning to I don't know, maybe getting a new passport very soon.
Yeah. Yes, actually, I want to take the Swiss passport as well. Then I have 2 passports.
I see. Good for
And
you.
I have to wait 1.5 year more.
Okay.
And then
Right.
I can apply for it.
All right. So perhaps you could tell us a bit the current situation. I mean the general situation in Zurich at the moment, and perhaps also the situation or the jazz scene. How is it during this COVID-19?
Yeah. It is a really crazy time, like you have as well in Indonesia. And I think nobody expected this kind of virus. It's like a science fiction film, yeah. And it's not over. And in the beginning, like middle of March, when we knew the virus is in Italy and we are so close to Italy, it's a question of time when it will be here in Switzerland, you know. When it will be in Switzerland. And then we had it first in the Ticino, in the Italian part of Switzerland. And then it went over to us. It was just a question of time. And then I felt like I was dealing with an education program, which is called Sophia. We support women in music. And we were just ending the workshop, like when the government told us, now stop everything, please. Stay at home, stop everything. Don't go out if you don't have to go out. Ask your friends, neighbors to buy stuff for you if you are in the group of people who are very risky, you know, to go out. And somehow when we ended the education workshop, I felt like a big shock. Everybody was shocked. Like when I went out for a walk, I felt like people were very scared, especially there were no people outside on the street. It was really empty, scary, empty, everything. And I felt like, okay, this is serious and this is a crazy time for everybody. And we didn't know what will come afterwards, you know. So for us musicians, for everybody who is self-employed, they had really trouble, or they still have troubles to kind of survive, you know. In the beginning, everything was so shocked that we didn't know for 1.5 months, how can we survive the next few months and the next year? Because I think this will not be over by autumn this year. This will take at least till the end 2021 maybe. And it is so crazy, you know, when we play for people, we have so much love in us, and we would like to spend this love to all the people who are listening to our concerts. And now we are not allowed to do that anymore. And right now in this position of everybody starts to wake up again, people need that. And we have a lot of restrictions when we want to perform, you know, like this 2 meters or 1.5 meter distance to each other. And like the government tells us a lot of things which should be done before we actually do a concert.
Okay.
And like in the beginning, we were not allowed to make anything. So musicians start to be creative. That's what I heard from my friends. Like there are different situations. If you are a free jazz musician and you never were teaching, then it's quite hard. Like also teaching via online. I had once the experience teaching online. And because I was in my bunker and it was underground, I didn't have good internet. It made me really frustrated because the internet was always like crashing down. So I thought now in this COVID time, it would be good to check that out again. So I started to teach more online. But imagine there are musicians or there are self-employed people who don't want to make these things over like internet, over online. Then this is like a really big problem. And on the other hand, there are people who say, okay, if I don't have any choice to survive, I need to do it. So I started to do more online sessions, and it really worked out with simple things, simple programs, and somehow I like to do it as well. So what I figured out when I talked to my friends in Germany and in Switzerland, as well as me, we found out that this COVID means for us very big trouble financial wise, but on the other hand, we could open a box of creative ideas which we never had before, or
and I would like to pointing out that when we discussing more also together with Aji and also our friends Bagas and also Dani, but allow me to just remind of everybody who probably still don't know who is Nicole Johansson. Let me just share something on the screen, and hopefully that everyone can see that. So this is a video with the late Jadu Perianto. Of course, we miss him so much. He was passed away last year, just a couple days before we organizing the WartaJazz Festival. So we send our best prayer for him tonight, and hopefully he could see our show and smiles. And maybe I would like to Bagas a little bit explaining about this video that we're gonna play a little bit for everyone, so everyone get a picture of idea what you did a couple years back. Mas Bagas mungkin bisa bantu jelasin sedikit mengenai video ini.
Oke. Ini saya agak lupa nih Jazz Gunung tahun berapa ya?
2014.
2014 ya. Jadi memang kalau di Jazz Gunung itu kita setiap tahun ada namanya Ring of Fire Project, yaitu yang dikepalai oleh Om Jaduk bersama dengan Koa Etnika. Nah, di Ring of Fire Project ini biasanya Om Jaduk mengajak musisi untuk berkolaborasi. Nggak hanya musisi Indonesia aja, tapi juga mancanegara. Dan dari berbagai genre sebenarnya. Nah, kebetulan di tahun itu Om Jaduk mengajak Nicole untuk berkolaborasi gitu.
Oke. Mungkin kita tahan dulu ya penjelasannya, nanti setelah ini kita akan explore lebih banyak tentang proyek ini. Teman-teman semua yang sedang menyaksikan acara WartaJazz Talk pada malam hari ini, silahkan menikmati Ring of Fire featuring Nicole Johansson.
Kelingan kula kelingan pelesiran jalan-jalan lunga piknik nang Cibulan rame-ramelan bebaturan, muter-muter pegunungan, maksud luruh hiburan, kanggo bunga-bunga pikiran, bari luruh pemandangan, angin gunung sumaliwir, banyu bening, iwake pating kepilir, lanang wadon atus-atusan, gede cilik sesenengan. Angin gunung sumaliwir, banyu bening, iwake pating kepilir, lanang wadon atus-atusan, gede cilik sesenengan. Kula mikir ngiwanengen, kayak gages neng angen-angen, pikiran ora karuan, kelingan nasibing badan, angin gunung sumaliwir, banyu bening, iwake pating kepilir, lanang wadon atus-atusan, gede cilik sesenengan. Angin gunung sumaliwir, banyu bening, iwake pating kepilir, lanang wadon atus-atusan, gede cilik sesenengan. Kulang lirik ngiwanengan, kayak gages neng angen-angen, pikiran orang karuan, kelingan nasibing badan.
I do hope that's bring something for you, Nicole, to back to Indonesia again. You know?
Lovely, lovely mood, lovely people, lovely musicians.
And yeah, perhaps we can talk a little bit how these things are. I believe sort of like a dream country, right? Because I do remember that I met you for the first time, I think 2010, I guess. For the first time,
Yes.
when the Jazz Ahead was still at the old building in the Bremen, and then yeah, I believe in 2014 I was with together with Mas Aji and also the late Jaduk to coming over. And actually, we also with another person. So there are 4 persons that coming that year, and then we met, and then we discussed a lot of things, and finally, we come up to one point that's yeah, basically me and Aji is discussing, and also together with Mas Jaduk, and about possibility of bringing the international musicians, and I just said, why don't we, talk with Nicole, because I do believe that she will be like, and then yeah, I think I believe that here we were talking with Bagas immediately, maybe over the phone or next day. I can't remember to be precise, but what I do know that we were checking out the possibility of bringing you to Indonesia. What is your what is your impression at that time? That's, I mean, after meeting me several years and then finally had your tickets, you know, to coming over to Indonesia.
You mean the impression of the festival? And
I mean, we just talk, and then, of course,
yeah.
nobody knows
it
that.
was
That
great.
is, yeah.
It was
No.
just fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, and we had so much fun, and it was for me like seeing another world and lovely people, and everybody took so much care about me. I mean, that was so amazing. I loved everything. It was just beautiful. I just the other day, like last Saturday, I just cleaned up my external disc, and I saw the video which you showed right now, and it felt like back in Indonesia, so beautiful. I even got a message from a great percussionist today, and he said, "Hey, we should go together to Indonesia. He's great." Yeah, so yeah, was wonderful. You took so much care, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, perhaps Aji would like to say something.
Okay, maybe you can talk us about your experience during your collaboration with Mas Jaduk and play at the Jazz Gunung Festival.
Yeah, of course, no problem. So it was very special to meet the musicians with Master Jaduk, and what I really loved was the percussion as well, with this low bass and the guitar. I loved the combination with a lot of rhythms and these percussion things. I never saw them before, and it was just very special for me. And that's what I think maybe that was the reason why I went to New York, because it started probably in Indonesia. Because I was so into the rhythm suddenly, like these beautiful sounds of the rhythm instruments. I love it really much. Okay. So if I wouldn't play saxophone, probably a percussion instrument. Yeah. And okay. What I have to say, the treatment of the organization team, they took so much care about me. Every step they say, okay, take care. Yes, do this, great. You know, it's like I was really, I mean, could be better.
Yeah, you are like a superstar, you know, so you treat it really like a superstar when you coming over. Yeah?
Incredible, yeah.
And what was you know the Indonesian music or the traditional music before? When you go to the Indonesia and play in the festival in collaboration with the Mas Jaduk?
Yeah, I didn't have so much impression about the Indonesian music before, so that means I didn't Google or I didn't check out the music. I listened to the music of Jaduk, of course, but what I want to do always, if I go to a new location, to a new country, I want to go there as a greenhorn, you know. I go there and let me surprise, you know, and this is what I actually like. So I don't prepare so much things if I go to another country. I go there and let me inspire. So all the musicians there they are fantastic musicians, and what we don't have so much in our culture is really much like this rhythm thing. Like this, and this especially this percussion stuff. So this was amazing for me. Like I still dream about it. It's nice. No, it's wonderful. Like that's what I took with my heart back to Europe when I was in Indonesia. The multicolor of instrument in percussion, and at the same time it has some pop as well inside for me, you know, and okay. Combined with your tradition, so it was like I felt very comfortable, you know. That was nice.
Yeah. Okay, when you have chance to play again with the Indonesian musician, are you want to do it again?
Of course. I love it. There's nothing
Okay.
better. You know, for me as a musician, I'm always, it's normally it's spontaneous, but if I would go over the street and somebody has a percussion or a flute or he has a guitar, then in my inner human being, I want to go there. Hey, can we play together? Can we play right now together? You know, because I love to meet people and to make music and then to see what is the result of the music. So nothing planned, nothing organized, just going there and meet people. And this is what happened in Indonesia. I met so many new people, so many new music, and it was fantastic. So absolutely, I would do it again.
Yeah. And what did you think about the festival, the Jazz Gunung? Your impression, and you in the Bromo in the mountain and play the music. What your impression about the festival?
My impression about the festival was they have a lot of people there, a lot of people coming all over the place to see just the Jazz Gunung Festival, and mixed like younger people, older people, and they were so tied to each other. It was really full, and at the stage looked extraordinary awesome. That was amazing. And like also this round thing was very nice, that people could look at it, and like on this mountain, and it's amazing. It's very not a lot of time to do that, you know, like this special. Usually we play on a festival stage, which is in a room, and which is wonderful. But if you are outside in the nature in Indonesia, and you have this wonderful stage picture, and
nothing can beat that.
That's crazy. Nice.
Okay. I would like to give a mic a little bit to Danny and see how the process of the collaboration at that time. Perhaps he could also tell us. I don't know, Danny. Are you comfortable to say in English, or you better say in Bahasa? I'll be more than happy to help you to translate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try to speak in English.
Sure. No problem.
Okay. First of all, Nicole, it's really nice to see you again, and congratulations on you're expecting to have a baby soon. I'm so glad, happy for you. First of all, and my first impression about Nicole is what it stood out is her energy. It's not often that I met and collaborate with people, and then these people just came and gave full energy, and just she looked just have great fun when the process when we had the process. So that's what I remember the most about Nicole. It's the great energy, and then how
many days actually that you guys spent all together? Because I do believe that back to 2014, Nicole wasn't going to Bromo immediately, right, Bagas? I mean, there is a process that right after the flight, I mean, from Singapore and then to Jakarta, go straight to Jogja first, and then having several days doing workshop. How many days to be precise?
I can't really be sure about how many days we had a process, but it's not very long. It's not that long, but I guess it's enough, because I think we communicate musically. We communicate so great musically, so that we don't have so much trouble communicating ideas with Nicole. And then Nicole also, well, as I said before, Nicole also has I feel that she really excited to be a part of this project, and then
Do you, Nicole?
I'm here.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was very excited, and then she was really easy to communicate, and then I think a process took about no more than 2 or 3 meetings, as I can remember. Through
Okay.
2 or 3 meetings, 2 or 3 rehearsal, and then plus when we arrived in Bromo, we rehearse once more, and then we play.
Okay. Now I would like to move to Bagas, and of course every single year Jazz Gunung is always had the Ring of Fire projects, and I don't know if there is such a precedence before that an international artist that has been invited before. Would that be possible to coming back again, or how did you pursue for the upcoming Jazz Gunung, which I heard that it's going to be moving from the original dates in July to somewhere at the end of this year?
Yeah, it's gonna be on the 5th of December this year. Well, actually, we plan to have 3 Jazz Gunungs this year. One is in Bromo. The second one was going to be in Ijen, and the third one is going to be in Bandung, in Burangrang, just Gunung Burangrang. But then, okay, it's really hard time for us, so we canceled the 2. But we still want to do the Jazz Gunung Bromo in December. So
Okay.
hopefully everything is going to be better by that time, so we can enjoy Jazz Gunung again. But then with new health and safety protocols.
Okay. In regards to the what I said before, would that be something that you consider to like re-inviting Nicole, for example, for the I don't know, maybe next year or something like that?
Yeah. Well, before the Ring of Fire project is led by the late Pak Jaduk. Yeah. So everything was managed by him. So all the collaborations, all the artists who will be going to be collaborated with Pak Jaduk is on his hand. So I don't know, without him this year and for the following years, I'm still discussing with Mas Dani and all Koetnika members how this going to be happen.
Okay, well, fair enough. Now back to Nicole. If you had a chance to coming back, perhaps you could tell me, is there something that in your head that you would like to do? I mean, when you had a chance to coming back to Indonesia again.
I think you have the answer of it. It's pretty clear.
Yeah, of course, we're planning something that we would like to bringing you back again, maybe with the baby. You know. Okay, now we are moving to the current situation, as you already explained in the very beginning of this talk. But of course, before that, or beforehand, that I would like again to say hello to everyone who watch this conversation through the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the YouTube at the same time. Please feel free to shout out in the comment box if you like to ask something or you want to comment something. Okay, there are a couple of things that I would like to hear from you. First is how did you see yourself or projecting yourself, like, if, of course, we don't want this, but most likely, at least by the end of this year, we're still gonna be very limited in terms of, I mean, you cannot go anywhere that far like it used to be. So you probably only maybe within the same cities or the same province or region, or maybe in a larger context, just within the same country. how did you see yourself as a musician that obviously also will becoming mother very soon on this occasion?
Yeah, first of all, I got canceled a lot of concerts for the autumn as well. So actually, I'm focused more on the next year. I planned already before Corona started a tour with my band from New Orleans in May. And I'm very, very glad I did that because if I would plan it now, I wouldn't have any chance to have any gig for sure. But now I have like almost 2 weeks playing every day with my New Orleans band and releasing an LP. So actually in this autumn, I have a couple of concerts, but I thought about like I have more creative ideas, like to make kind of video book, like I'm going to special places recording my saxophone in the free nature, for example, in wonderful places in Switzerland. That's my idea. I have a couple of the ideas what I want to do. Of course, I want to I just yesterday got an offer to play in close to Zurich, like 1 hour far away, for a concert in November. And I was, oh, you are very friendly. In Corona time, you ask for a concert. Of course I have time. I'm coming. Of course. So I'm hot on playing, of course, and meeting like nice people like Danny or Chaduk. And but it's like, as you never know, at the moment, I plan more like more composing, more like working on saxophone quartet sheets. I try to bring out my own sheet for saxophone quartet. I try to teach more online master classes, for example. I give concerts, streaming concerts online, which is not the same. Like if you were standing in front of people and they dance or they're feeling it with you and they do a flight with you together, but it's something, you know, the people appreciate it if they have just a little bit of culture what they had before. So my situation is for the next month is playing online streaming concerts, teaching online. So I look for students because I love to teach, and it's funny what you can see everything over this little camera and what you can hear. It's amazing. It works good, and I developed a new technique on my saxophone, which I was shown by a friend from I don't know where he's from US actually, and he's very good in that. And I started to learn this technique so I can show people a funny technique on saxophone.
Oh,
so
perhaps
yeah,
you can show
like,
us that later on.
Yeah. Oh, now it stopped. Can you hear me? I see. Yeah, now.
Some of the things that I'm thinking that with this the pandemic, you already mentioned that before, is stopping us to travel, stopping us that meeting with the people, but at the same time actually allowing us to meet more people than we could expect it, because just like tonight that we can do this conversation. I mean, without.
Exactly.
I mean, in my comfort zone, in my second story in my house, while everybody also enjoying, in their comfort at their home at the moment. But what I would like to know is how actually the system in both maybe in Germany and in Switzerland, because I was hearing, and everybody keeps saying that, it's so lucky that this person are living, I don't know, Germany or Swiss, they get some subsidy, etc., etc. But we never really know what's actually what's really happened. So perhaps that you could tell us, to be precise, what exactly is I mean, live in I mean, especially for you that you're holding the German passport but live in Switzerland.
Yeah. So as I'm living 15 years in Zurich, the government, after a few weeks in March, when Corona broke out, when Corona started to be here in Zurich, in Switzerland, the cultural scene was kind of shocked, really, really, really shocked. And we were thinking of how can we manage the next month if we don't have any chance to perform, right? And then the government said the government has a bunch of money and gives that to the cultural scene. So as I'm a musician, I applied, like all of my other friends who are as well musicians, they applied for funding. And the system of how they counted it and how they give the money, like they gave us money, but never the money which we actually get as a fee. You know, if we would get, let's say, 100 Swiss francs, then we would never get 100 Swiss francs. We would get maybe 20 Swiss francs or whatever. They counted differently. They counted on the income and what we had last year. And our income is very low, of course, because we have big expenses. So like travel, like hotel and all the stuff when we are on tour. So we got funding, and you could apply for funding like until the end of May, I think, or beginning of May. I'm not sure anymore. And then it stopped, you know. But now, what happens now? How can we survive in a country like Switzerland? But then the state Zurich. And I think the other states in Switzerland as well made this offer that we can apply at the government from the states for money, for help. So we get financial help, and we are very glad for that. But not everybody gets it, because not everybody is self-employed. Some of them are not self-employed, some of them are not, and it's a bit tricky.
So basically, you were saying that the funding is available, but there are some little bit administration work need to be done in order to collect the money,
and you need you need to wait so long time. We waited like 6 or 7 weeks until something happened. But I mean, I got funding and I'm happy, but there are people who don't get any funding, and because they are in between a chair and between a bank, we say in German, and that's pretty hard. And it's like, I mean, I'm always like, when I'm at the end of the year and I make my taxes declaration, and then I see, oh shit, I didn't earn so much money. Ooh, I have to change this, you know, to make my living, you know, to pay at least the rent, to pay my food here. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive to live here than in Indonesia, I think.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
But still, exactly. Yeah, it's a crazy time. How do you deal it in Indonesia? Do you have funding?
Well, depending on what you were doing, of course there are some safety belt, I would say, fund that available, but I'm not quite sure about the how to access that, because mainly the funds that are available is actually not the real money that I would say, but it's pretty much like just helping you to survive for several days. I would say, you know, so it's not. Of course, I mean, as for myself, I have to look the other way around, and creating this WartaJazz stock is basically another way of building up something, because then we have the ability to actually explore more. So this is something that I would like to continue to ask you is with the current situation, if you do compare, you're doing a teaching online and also maybe doing also online collaboration. Is there such a mechanism that you put in place, like everyone in Switzerland or maybe in Europe in general, using such a platform, for example, to obtain this, or you have to figure out by yourself? What did you do exactly?
Say me again your question.
You know, this you're saying that you are teaching online and you're also you're doing an online concert. How actually you prepare this? I mean, are you attending the studio, or you do live stream from your room, or what kind of
So actually, the most streams I did in this room here, in my working room, in my where everything is here, like my books, like my cupboard, right? And the other streamings I did in my bunker, like not outside somewhere, at home here, or in my bunker, which is in the underground, so nobody was there in Corona time. And I prepared it very easy with my computer. I had a Fireface, like interface, which I used, RME, it is called. And then I put my microphone here, and I'm sitting on my bench, and then I'm playing the saxophone lively with good equipment, like my equipment which I have already since maybe 10 years, 15 years, something like this. And then what I do in my bunker, it's sometimes very easy. I just go with my mobile phone and just put it on and go live streaming on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube. I started to work on my YouTube channel before I had like kind of 300 abonnements, and then I started to work on it, and now I have over 1,100.
So
and
now you're able to monetize your channel, obviously.
Kind of, but only if I have 4,000 watching time.
Yeah, watching hours, yes.
And I don't have that.
Yeah, perhaps that we could help in by having more subscribers coming from Indonesia, which is quite very easily to attend that, hopefully. Yeah, we'll talk that more later. Perhaps I would like to give a mic if anyone here, maybe Danny or Bagas would like to ask a question, or even IT. But beforehand, the current situations, I mean, as you already mentioned, having the online, of course, it could help a little bit, but maybe not as good as earning money from the real concert when you are meeting with people. My next question is, what about the online distribution service? Are you still like selling out tracks through the digital channels, for example, or like the CDs are still working, or how is it right now? Are you hearing me?
Is it a question for me or
Yes,
Danny?
yes.
For
it's
me,
actually
okay.
for you.
So yes, I started to promote more my CDs. I try to put, again, I'm more on Facebook, but I try to be more on Instagram as well. So actually on Facebook, I started to always say hello. Here, if you want to support my band, for example, you can. Here's the CD side. So I never try to be so to sit on the people, but I try to say, hey, there's a little bit chocolate for you. If you want to have it, just take it.
Sure, sure.
And
you're not doing a hard selling, obviously.
Yeah. So I try to mention always from time to time my my CDs, which you can find on my website. I have a newsletter since a few years, which helped me a lot. So people started, so I wrote a newsletter and just that the people know what I'm doing, that I'm working on compositions. And some of them, they asked me, hey, can we support you even more than just the CD? And then I said, wow, this is so this is gentle. This is very, very nice. And yeah, this is a crazy time. And then what I did as well, yeah, exactly, I almost forgot it. You know, sometimes life is full of surprises. So when that happened, a friend of mine with who I was recording in US in 2016 a CD, which is called Lumens Duo, just duo, like a guitar and saxophone. He sent me CDs in this time. By coincidence, I had the CD in my hand and said, hey, this is a new CD. So I counted 1 + 1. Okay, good. So I just mentioned again on Facebook, hey, we have a new CD, and it's a little present from New York when I was in New York, and it just it's released now in Europe, and it's released in US like last year. So I had new food, you know, new food for me. So I could tell to the people, hey, maybe you want to listen to the music. The music is always a little bit different than the other music I'm doing back in Europe. So it was something special also for the people. So what I'm doing right now, I'm doing promotion for Lumens for like Europe, and that works pretty well. Yeah, like I try to be like active as I can be, and
Sure.
this new Lumen CD was like kind of a little present to have it right now. It gave me a good feeling. And lumens means it's a Latin language, and it means light.
Yes.
Little effects of light. So
yeah. And I would like also to know about your involvement in a projects that basically involving all women musicians. Yeah, maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So as you know, if you go to a school, jazz school, or if you go to a jam session, or if you go to a concert, you see mostly men on their instruments, yeah, and not really much women. And I was 2003 a member of the Sisters in Jazz group in US. So every year they selected new women from different countries, and I was selected from Europe to go there as the only woman from Europe and go with the saxophone. So I played there, and we had wonderful time. We met Oscar Peterson. It was a big convention, big conference. I met Elvin Jones. I met so many people. And then we just focused on music, 2003, yeah? And then I came back, and it was just once in a year. And then I came back, and after like 10 years, Sisters in Jazz, I think they didn't have enough money to go on by every year to do that, right? So then they stopped the program. And in 2011-12, I was very sad about that and said, I have to make a new thing out of it. So I invented with a friend of mine, Claudio Capellari, I made the Sophia program. It's an education program for women. And this program takes care about women in jazz. They want to explore, or they want to know more about the music business. So first of all, it's about networking, that we give a chance to other women in jazz to meet each other, like making networking, they get knowledge about the music business, how they can book their concerts, how they can make a performance, how they promote themselves, plus they make music together. So my engagement, my goal is to offer like a platform for women in jazz that they can meet, because if we know from each other, we will support each other. If we don't know from each other, how can I know who is on bass in Indonesia? Women, you know.
So basically, you will open up an opportunity for everyone, especially women, in this particular case.
Yeah.
And how exactly, I mean, what are you expecting from the people, like young or any jazz woman musicians based in Indonesia, for example, who would like to join with your initiative?
Yeah, like some of them are pretty young, and actually it's good to already have studied, like maybe just finished the study, or like are in the 3rd or 4th year of their education.
Okay.
And who maybe already have, actually they should have a band already. They should have in a planning, like a CD, like that you can work with the stuff, like women who have already an idea. But sometimes we already had this year one woman, and she was playing in a band, but she didn't have her own band, and that was pretty cool. I think she learned a lot. So sometimes,
yeah.
All
right. So basically, you're facilitating those who not really an early start, is only like developing something, but still wanted to say had another footstep to get a bigger or pursue bigger dream, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then I do know that you were, I mean, last encounter last year, I believe, in Bremen, you gave me the this Henry projects, which is for me is very interesting, and I mean, most of the people that I met in the jazz center, for example, from the European perspective, is always the European side of projects. I mean, never talking about North American, especially where the jazz was born, kind of. What was the original encounter that make you thinking to have, creating this Henry, which is now becoming I think something that really sort of signature project.
So actually, it's very simple. I founded the band Henry because I wanted to have a little present for myself when I went back from US to Europe. Because when I was living like 5-6 months over there, I visited New Orleans, and I knew I don't need a souvenir. Like if you go to a souvenir shop and buy yourself a t-shirt, whatever, I don't need really this, but what I need is like the music, right? So I focused on composing music, and I knew when we go to New Orleans, then I want to make a record there. So I was influenced by that time by Arthur Blythe, a saxophonist who worked with tuba and conga, like minimalistic, right? But very honest music. And this is Henry. Henry is for me very honest music, like not really like overdubbing or forget it. It's really like we play it and it is like it is, yeah. And then we have trombone, like we have the sousaphone, the tuba, we have the drums, the saxophone, and then we have the trombone. And the trombone is important for me because my father, who is called Heinrich and nickname is Henry, is playing the trombone. And every morning when I was going to the school, he was playing, don't be shocked, he played the trombone at 5:30 in the morning before he had to go to work. And that was our signal, okay, we have to wake up. But it was so beautiful, and he was far away. He was like, we were in the living and sleeping room, like children room, right? And he was down and he was playing, so it was very soft. But I loved this trombone. And I swear, like the things you listen to in the youth, somehow it's in your brain and it's in your heart.
It's influenced you a lot.
Exactly.
It's like feeling your blood and then distributing the energy throughout your body.
Exactly. That made me like my father's experience playing the trombone, plus Arthur Blythe, this minimalistic combination made me thinking, if I go to New Orleans and there is the city of the sousaphone and the drumming and then I have to do a recording like this. So I mixed my own compositions, like the melodies with the style of New Orleans. And then why I work with them is my husband told me, Nicole, when we were back in Europe, he said, Nicole, you have to do, you have to release this CD. You have to release this CD. And I said, well, it's just a present for myself, like remembering, why do I have to release the CD? And then, no, please bring it out. And we did that. And you won't believe it. It opened me so much doors. It's so easy music, but it kind of popped a lot of doors open. So I could play much more. So that's why I came to idea, I bring them to Europe.
Okay.
At least once every year.
I see.
That's the story.
Right. So the project still continues, but of course, because they covered everything and stuff. Yeah. So are you planning for 2021?
Exactly. We are on tour in May 2021.
All right. Of course, we would be loved to see saxophone being played, because not many bands that include that kind of instrument. I mean, especially nowadays, where they're more into electronics and stuff. But that's the question. Are you also into the electronic and stuff, or more the traditional stuff, or you also do combine?
I play with my brother in a band, which is called Nicole, and we have this band since our childhood, like more than 20 years. And there we combine a lot of electronic things. And there's a big difference between like electronic, like piano, and you use sounds, or the wave of these days when they do this kind of noises, electronic noises. Yeah. I'm not doing this. I did in New York, this free jazz orchestra, but nobody had a kind of like an instrument where they can make this. I'm not doing this kind of, but I'm open to do everything actually. So
okay. All right.
But I have an electric band.
Yeah. Maybe Danny or Bagas or Aji would like to say something or ask questions? Go ahead, guys.
Okay. Maybe I would like to ask Nicole. Hey, Nicole,
Yes.
is there any chance that actually right now Wa Etnika, the band that Pak Jaduk orchestrated long time ago, Wa Etnika actually now is in the workshop progress of making an album, a new album. I was wondering if you could maybe.
Yes.
I haven't even asked.
That's the beautiful of this new technology that everyone can respond immediately. You don't have to write an email anymore.
Yeah,
you can just.
But really, I would like to have the email of Nicole. I mean, I have to have her email. I mean, by this conversation and right about the time when we are in the process of making an album, perhaps I can talk to all the guys from Quiet Nika and see what are the possibilities, and because all the music is already recorded, and the main thing that haven't been recorded is the vocals or the solos. So I mean, well,
yeah, we can always discuss that. You know? let the conversation continues right after this WartaJazz talk.
Okay,
but yeah,
thanks, Nicole.
Yeah, the purpose of this WartaJazz talk is also like giving a bridge between the Indonesian audience and musicians with the international jazz community. As I would like to share as much as I could, but it's always best when somebody who are capable to explain it in their native language and coming from certain countries. You know, giving an explanation about what is what and how. Aji, would you like to add something?
I have a question about the latest album from Nicole, because the album is just the solo saxophone. Yeah. And I just asked why you decided made the album you play the solo saxophone finally.
Why I did it?
Yeah.
Why I okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Why you decided the
another a classical saxophone player from Zurich, Florian Haupt. He asked me, or actually I was applying for a concert in the Wasserkirche. It's a beautiful church in Zurich with a 6-7 second hole, you know, a reverb. So you stand in there, you make a sound, it makes duh, and it doesn't stop anymore, you know. So he asked me, I asked him, can I play there? And then he said, yeah, I come to you, and then we will figure it out when. And then he gave me the date in September, and I was playing there, and I was so. And actually, the people came to me afterwards and say, hey, this was such a nice concert, so different and so deep. And I was thinking of, oh man, I have to do that again. So I did it again, and then I had, like in life sometimes happens something very serious and bad and emotional, and I started to write music for a solo album, and I recorded a solo album in another church in Zurich. And yes, this was the solo album. I plan another solo album on the mountain in Zurich, like at least next year. But that was an experience, because when you play alone and you play with a lot of reverb, you play different. And that was the nice thing. If you go in a church and you play, you cannot play, you could, but this is not what comes out of my heart. My heart is telling me like, then I played this because it fits in the church. That's what my saxophone, it's speaking by itself. I don't do anything. It's just my saxophone who does it, you know, and I'm moving with my fingers. And this is very interesting how you as a musician can play so different in different locations, you know, and because I'm so open with any genre, I love to experience this. So the solo of this concert in September was for me like a new adventure world playing saxophone, because I never played like this before. So I decided to make the solo record.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in your website, you put a quote from our also friend, Deb Liebman, and it is already mentioned by Danny earlier when we were starting this conversation. You know. So I just gonna read that. Nicole has something very special in her playing, a big and generous heart. She plays like her life depends on it and draws anyone within range into the center of her music. An exceptional energy. So how did you met with Deb Liebman? Exactly, and this beautiful quote. I mean, it's like a really big appreciation by him towards your playing. You know?
He's such a wonderful person, has a wonderful daughter, wonderful wife. And I met Dave when he was giving a masterclass in Mannheim, because the teacher in Mannheim, Jürgen Seefelder, in Germany, where I was studying jazz, they know each other very well. And so Dave came over and gave a master class during his tour in Europe. And from the beginning on, it was like kind of magnet for me. Like when he played, I was like, I couldn't move anymore. Like my mouth was like, this energy was incredible. So we were talking a little bit, and I went to his masterclass to Stroudsburg like years later. So we kept always in contact and in touch. And he has on 4th of September birthday, and me too. We have on the same day birthday. So he's always quicker in sending me the birthday wishes. Hey, Nicole, all the best. And it's a whole group of people who have on the 4th of September birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually we kept in contact, and always when I see him, I feel like, this man is incredible. And his whole family is like this. They have so good energy, and it's like inspiring. It's really, for me, inspiring this person. You know, it's like he can play whatever he wants to play, but it's the person's energy is crazy.
And it's quite surprising that you were just mentioning about the same. I saw something here in my screen, which is, I don't know why I look at it. It's a 21 and 12. So it's 2, 1, 1, 2. So it's sort of like a good number. Perhaps it is a signal that maybe after several talks, it's maybe the right time to listen a little bit something.
Yes.
I'll be more than happy, and I think all of our friends here also will be very happy to hear something live from Nicole Johansson.
So before I play, I want to show this technique, what I was talking about. It's
Sure.
this blop technique, like slap. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
So that's the blop technique I'm doing, and it's pretty like. So this is the funky part of it. But what I want to play now for you and for all the people who are watching us is different. So. Just a little improvisation for you.
Yay!
Could you hear it?
Yeah, it's great.
The sound. Thank you very much.
Right. So, well, we already almost 1.5 hours right now.
Yeah.
So I do hope that everyone is still with us. Let me check if any questions are being sent through the social media that we do have. Okay, perhaps you could also tell us your social media account if they would like to following you in social media. How
Yeah.
to see,
On Facebook, you can find me on Nicole, Nicole, and then Johansken, Joh. Now I have to look, watch it very quick. If it's A-E or A, it is A with double point, and then N-N-T-G-E-N.
I think if you just type Nicole and then G-O, will be pop up immediately. Autocomplete.
Exactly.
If you did in Facebook, also in
exactly.
Instagram.
And I have a music page on Facebook and a private page, and I prefer to have the music page. It's better. And so if you want to follow me, you can follow me on the music page, because my private page is full of members already. I know them, so I cannot delete. So yes, and on Instagram, let me check quick on Instagram. I forgot always my name on Instagram. It is as well Nicole Johansken. Yeah, Nicole Johansken.
Okay,
that's
right.
it.
So guys, teman-teman di Indonesia yang kebetulan menyaksikan program ini atau mungkin menyaksikan program ini setelah acara live ini selesai, Anda bisa melihat atau bisa ikut memfollow akun dari Nicole Johansken. Tinggal mengetikkan Nicole, N-I-C-O-L-A spasi Jo, biasanya nanti sistem di Instagram ataupun di Facebook, begitu juga di YouTube akan menampilkan halaman dari Nicole Johansken. Perhaps before we say goodbye, I would like to ask if anyone still would like to say something to Nicole. You can have time. Perhaps Bagas?
Yes. Thanks, Nicole, for your story. It's a really great night. Tonight we can hear from you again. Hopefully everything gets better next year. So maybe we can arrange something for you here in Indonesia. Well, I guess stay healthy and stay safe. Yeah.
You too as well.
Yep.
For your family and you too, and stay healthy and have a healthy time. That's the most important.
Yep.
Okay. Perhaps from Danny.
Okay. Thank you, Nicole, for the inspiration, for the story. And now I know you more, and that's make me understand more why you have that so huge energy when we play together. And hopefully because you are expecting a baby, I hope everything goes well until the date, and I wish you always healthy and your family also. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Danny. You are so sweet, and say hello to your family, and stay healthy, and we see you next time.
Yeah, will do.
Okay. Last but not least, maybe from Saji in Jogja.
Okay, just this is all the best for you.
All the best for you. Thank you very much. Great.
All right. I think, yeah, I just want to like to say thank you very much for everyone who already watching this program. And of course, just like the other day and the day before when we're doing the WartaJazz talk, we would like also to thank you very much for the our sponsors. Let me just share something in the screen so then, okay, 1 second. That everyone can see it. So thank you very much for the internet connection, which is provided by the Excel Home, helping us a little bit about. Okay, let me show you something. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much, Agus, for this lovely idea to have this interview.
Sure. So there you go. The internet connection is by the Excel Home. We also would like to thank you very much for our also partners, the Hotel Haris Vertu Harmony Jakarta, for their support. I do believe they would like to have you if you are visiting Jakarta, because they often having a concert by the international artists when they are simply
Cool.
coming to Jakarta. Yeah. I think that's pretty much that I would like to say. But beforehand, that maybe we just want to have some closing statement from you, Nicole, before we say goodbye. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Agus. It was wonderful, and WartaJazz is just amazing. And you have always creative ideas, and always when I meet you, colorful, and you do something with your hands. That's who Agus is for me, and who WartaJazz is standing for me. So go on with your lovely work, and stay healthy, and rock and roll with your instrument and with your voice. And hope to see you.
Well, thank you very much. That's pretty much that we would like to talk tonight. Of course, there are a lot of ideas that coming up, and perhaps if you guys having also some suggestions, some comments, you can as well send us an email address or a WhatsApp through our number, +62 if you are coming from outside Indonesia, 819-278-25299, or simply +6281 WartaJazz, WartaJazz. So it must be easier for you guys to contacting us. So I am Agus Setiawan Basuni, who live from WartaJazz House Gallery in Jakarta, and my colleague.
Yes, I'm Aji Wartono from the WartaJazz Jogja.
So we would like to thank you all for those who are watching us in 1.5 hour. Also, thank you to Nicole for joining us tonight, and also Mas Danny from Kua Etnika, and also Mas Bagas from Jazz Gunung. Thank you, guys. Stay healthy and stay optimistic. Thank you very much, and see you when we see you.
See you.
Bye for now.
See you. Bye.
Bye.